If you're like most gardeners, compost feels like magic, nature's ultimate recycling trick. Take kitchen scraps, yard waste, and a little time, and you get dark, crumbly gold that promises to transform lifeless soil into a paradise for plants. But here's something many gardeners don't realize until it's too late. Not all compost is good compost. In fact, some compost can silently poison your soil, stunt your plants, or introduce long-term damage that takes seasons to undo. Whether you're mixing your own pile or picking up a finished batch from the local market, what you don't know can hurt your garden. That's why before you add a single scoop of compost to your beds, pots, or food garden, you need to understand the hidden dangers and how to test and transform your compost into a thriving microbial powerhouse. Don't rush it. Why finished compost matters more than you think. Timing really is everything in compost. If you add compost that hasn't fully matured, it can actually rob nitrogen from your plants as it continues to break down. This is called nitrogen drawdown, and honestly, it's one of the leading reasons why seedlings struggle in raised beds filled with compost. The decomposition process needs oxygen, moisture, and microbes to work in balance. And when that balance is off, you're feeding your soil unfinished business. Aged compost, on the other hand, is like aged wine or cheese. It stabilizes. The microbial populations settle into harmony, nutrient levels normalize, and the texture becomes consistent and easy to blend with soil. Compost should rest for at least 3 to 6 months after the last fresh input is added, especially if it contained manure or food scraps. If it's steaming hot in the center or clumps into slimy chunks when wet, it's just not ready. Period. So, how do you supercharge your compost before use? Once you've confirmed your compost is free from toxins and fully broken down, it's time to take it to the next level. This is where, honestly, most gardeners miss an opportunity. Compost is more than just organic matter. It's the biological engine of your soil. By inoculating it with beneficial microbes and feeding them, you can really increase its power. One of the easiest ways to do this is to brew a compost tea. Just take a shovelful of finished compost, place it in a mesh bag or old pillowcase, and steep it in a bucket of dechlorinated water for about 24 to 48 hours. Add a tablespoon of molasses to feed the microbes, and aerate the mixture with a small aquarium pump if possible. The result is a microbe-rich liquid that you can pour back onto your compost pile or directly into garden beds, giving your soil a living boost. You can also add a sprinkle of rock dust, biochar, or worm castings to your compost before applying it. These amendments improve mineral balance, water retention, and microbial diversity. In essence, you're turning compost from a static input into a living inoculant, a biological fertilizer that boosts soil structure and fertility. Layer smarter. Why compost should never go alone. One of the most common mistakes in raised beds and containers is dumping pure compost directly onto the soil and planting into it. Compost should be part of a system, not the system itself. Think of it as a sponge that needs structure. Blending compost with native soil, aged mulch, or coconut coir can help balance texture, aeration, and nutrient release. Consider layering compost under a light mulch of straw, shredded leaves, or partially rotted wood chips. This not only protects the compost from drying out, but also encourages earthworms and soil microbes to work their way through the layers naturally. Over time, this creates a slow-release fertility zone where roots thrive and moisture holds steady. If you're top-dressing with compost around fruit trees or vegetables, keep it a few inches away from stems to avoid rot or fungal problems. And always water it in. Compost that stays dry becomes lifeless and inert. Moisture activates the biology and helps nutrients move into the root zone. Use it when the soil is ready, not just when you are. The temptation to just add compost at the start of every season is strong, but your soil may not always need more organic matter. It might need balance instead. Test your soil. Observe your plants. If they're growing well, adding compost unnecessarily can throw things out of harmony, leading to soggy soil, nutrient lockout, or pest issues. Healthy soil isn't built by dumping more in. It's nurtured by watching closely and responding wisely. Compost is powerful, but only when used with intention. When it's raw, contaminated, or misused, it can undo months of hard work in a single season. Final thoughts. Compost is a tool, not a shortcut. Great gardening is about partnership with nature, not shortcuts. Compost is a key partner, but it must be clean, mature, and biologically alive. Always test, observe, and prepare before introducing compost into your garden ecosystem. When you treat compost with the same respect you give your plants, your garden will reward you with stronger roots, lusher growth, and harvests that keep getting better year after year. If this guide helped you think differently about compost, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a fellow gardener, and help them avoid the silent mistakes that so many of us learn the hard way. And if you want more tips like this, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a soil-saving secret from Hydro Haven. We're here to help you grow smart, grow safe, and grow with confidence.